Today, we're going to talk about 5 mistakes I want you to avoid when shopping for a home. Number 1, trying to time the market. Bay Area home prices were growing for more than 10 years, and I'm getting a lot of questions about should I wait for the market adjustment or should I buy now? From my point of view, if you are thinking about owning the home and living in the house for 7, 10, or more years, it's better to buy when the time is right. Securing the right home for you to live, for you and your family to live, is already a win in this market where we have extreme shortage of housing. Keep in mind that in the Bay Area, in the last 10 years, was only one house built for every 6 new jobs created in the area. Back in the year 2000, when I was in high tech, I had a coworker who sold his San Mateo home, anticipating that this dot-com crash will bring the housing prices down. It didn't work out to his kind of expectations. Eventually, he was priced out of the area and had to move out. Let's look at the recent performance of Bay Area real estate market. In the last 10 years, home prices grew by 177%. The median home price in the area grew by 177%. And the last adjustment that happened in 2018 to 2019, home prices dropped by only 4.5%. So my recommendation would be don't wait to buy. Buy and then wait. Number 2, waiting till the last minute to qualify for a loan. When you started searching for a home, most likely you started on internet. And you used one of the mortgage calculators, just like everyone else, in order to figure out your comfortable price point. But that's not enough to understand your real borrowing limits. You need to talk to a lender to understand your real borrowing limits. Your ability to get a loan does not only depend on your credit score and income, but also on your cash holdings, how much money you will have in reserves after the down payment, and your other liabilities like credit card payments or car loans. A little while back, we worked with a lady who needed to move into a specific school district in order for her daughter to start that year. Unfortunately, she didn't have time to get prepared for the loan. And the first house we showed her was the exact match, and she decided to go for it. When we talked to the lender, we realized that she has a pretty large car loan. She bought a car literally a month or two before she started shopping for a home, and she had to get rid of her car in order to close the transaction. She still lives in that house today. In another case, we worked with a couple who registered for a new construction here in Mountain View. They got on the waiting list, and when their turn came, they picked a unit, they signed the purchase contract. But unfortunately, when they started working with the lender, they realized that their credit score is too low in order to obtain a loan and close the transaction. They learned their lesson, and they were working with the lender for about a year and a half in order to improve their credit score, and ended up buying a bigger home in a different community. Getting pre-approved for a loan, or maybe even going through a pre-underwriting process, will allow you to focus on searching for the right home for you and will reduce stress in the transaction. Number 3, searching too narrowly. And I mean both geographically, too small of an area, and too tight of criteria for the condition and type of the home you're looking for. Most people start searching for home in the area they are familiar with, the area where they already live. And then they have an idea of an ideal home. They want so many bedrooms, so many bathrooms. They want single story or 2-story, hardwood floors, upgraded kitchen, upgraded bathrooms, or something like that. But when they start looking for homes, the reality kicks in. The type of the home they're looking for may not be available. Last year, we worked with a couple who put 8 offers in a specific zip code, and they were not able to get a home. They worked with another agent, and after they switched working with us, we expanded their search area to a neighboring city with the same school district, and they were able to find a home literally within 3 weeks after started working with us. And a few years back, we worked with a couple that wanted to move closer to their aging parents. They wanted to live close to each other so they can help. The grandparents helping with kids and the young couple helping aging parents. They were looking for a home with an ADU or a mother-in-law unit or a larger home where they can build a second kitchen. We ended up finding them a duplex. Now the young couple lives in 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom part of the duplex, and the parents live in the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit. They even removed the fence in the backyard so the grandparents and the grandkids can play together. We lived in the Bay Area for more than 30 years and love looking for non-standard solutions like these. Number 4, writing offers that can't win. When we start talking to our clients about making an offer, the first thing they talk about would be the price. But California purchase contract is 16 pages long, if you can imagine that. It includes not just financial terms like amount of earnest money deposit, down payment amount, a loan amount, but also contingencies like property condition contingency or loan contingency, and leased items like solar panels that are common today, and even TV brackets, should they stay with the house or should they be removed. When submitting an offer, you should make sure that it is easy for the owner to accept. It may be longer escrow if the home is going into 1031 exchange, an investor selling a house, or it may be a rent back. Rent back means that the owner stays in the house after close of escrow. That typically happens when the owner needs proceeds from the sale in order to buy their next home. Also, stay away from unusual offers. When we were representing a seller a little while ago, we received an offer. It was a multiple offer situation, and the top offer had 1-day property condition contingency. We were looking at the offers in the afternoon, so they would have not more than 24 hours, maybe a little longer than 24 hours, in order to do their investigation. It was quite an unusual and an aggressive offer, so the seller decided to go with the next lower one. Every seller situation is different, and the key is communication with them, so you can understand their needs and match them as closely as possible. And finally, number 5, failing to thoroughly investigate the property. Most Bay Area homes are 50 years or older, and it's customary in our area for the seller to prepare all the disclosures in preparation for sale. So when you see the home, when you come to the open house, the disclosures are typically ready. They include property inspection, termite inspection, owner disclosures, and a whole bunch of other stuff like environmental hazard disclosures. So the typical package would be about 200 pages long. And for homeowner associations, when you look at condos or townhomes, it's even longer. One of the latest listings we have had 400 pages of HOA docs. When we were working with the buyers, we read through these disclosures together. We're putting together a list of questions and get them answered by the seller, or bringing experts. So, for example, if the property inspection notices that there are some problems with the brickwork in the fireplace, we may need to bring a masonry contractor in order to give an estimate for the repairs, or foundation contractor, roof, or something like that. If you have plans to expand the home, it will be necessary to go to the city and talk to their planning department in order to figure out if you can fit an ADU or if you can add another bedroom, bathroom, or second floor to the house. In some unusual cases, when we work on one of the condominiums, the HOA had a $19,000 assessment that was levied against each unit. And we had to hire an HOA doc investigator in order to give their opinion to our client, to the buyer, whether or not it is safe to buy into that community. Don't think about the age of the home as disqualifying factor. So much depends on the way the home was maintained by the previous owners. Some homes that may be listed on paper, built in 1932 or 54, were stripped down to studs recently and completely rebuilt with new plumbing, new electrical, and everything else. But if you have any doubts about the condition of the house, if you have any thoughts about home having problems you are not ready to handle and take care of, it's better to skip that home and look for other opportunities. This is Michael Tallis with the Tallis team. We work only with a small number of buyers and sellers at a time to be able to provide our 5-star service. Call, text, or email me so we can start planning your next move together.